No, I
win today, he'd be tied for the most wins ever by a starting quarterback at Clemson. Rodney Williams, Taj Boyd, and Deshaun Watson. He comes out firing. And late Eddie Williams, and died at the age of 39. So he has to wear 39 today. Lawrence is everything you'd want, including the size, 6'6", 220. Gives it to Etienne, who's
and rushing the quarterback.
You talked about Etienne as a pass catcher. They've got him split out wide now.
Short set by Lawrence over the middle and batted down. Green. Richmond, Virginia. From the 16-yard line, great chance for the Tigers to take the early lead. Etienne, the running back. Amari Rogers could not break a tackle. Then incomplete passes. Etienne bounces off some hits. Lawrence hit as he throws to the corner of the end zone. It's caught this day. Thanksgiving weekend. It is 67 degrees and barely a cloud in the sky overhead. Some trickery. The shovel ahead to Rogers. He broke a couple of tackles. Looks like he was
very low to the ground and gets a lot of extra yardage.
And he wasn't face masked. Looked like they just got him by the shoulder pads and spun him a bit. Lawrence given a lot of time. Open man, and it is caught.
Down the middle of that defense. Knows he's going to get hit by Hallett. Hangs on to the football. 2 big catches in the ball game for E.J. Williams.
Hallett's been playing for Paris Ford, who opted out after they got hammered by Notre Dame.
That generates a lot of trust, too, for your quarterback.
Lawrence throws while stepping forward and was on target.
Seasons, and Galloway kind of leads the charge of the tight ends.
Third down and 8. They are in field goal range for B.T. Potter. Lawrence again managed to sidestep the rush, buy more time. Short throw for season. Lawrence after the run fake. Out wide to Amari Rogers against
safeties to play a lot of man coverage, but it's his reckless and fearlessness in the run game that impresses me.
Lawrence has a man open. It's Cornell Powell having
See the way that Powell and Amari Rogers have stepped up this season has been outstanding for this Clemson offense.
There's no Justin Ross this year. He's been outstanding. The last 2 years they had T. Higgins, who's gone on to the NFL. Powell waited his turn behind some outstanding players. Etienne.
100 receiving yards from a year ago.
By the way, and got an abdominal issue. That's why, if you don't have abs, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to try their own flea flicker, and this one's going to work for a touchdown.
Pressure that he got really created that turnover.
First interception of the year for the junior from Kansas City, Missouri. Goodrich, Lawrence, acrobatic.
The same kind of time in to come back from a torn ACL in record time. Played last year with a brace.
A 17-yard gain.
A huge season for him.
Etienne got stood up.
Quarterback.
28 yards rushing on 18 carries against the Irish, worst since his freshman season. Lawrence.
When he runs like that, inside in particular.
Whatever Billy Lemon says, that's what I go with. Etienne, another touchdown.
Clemson has capitalized on the mistakes of the Pitt offense.
They scored touchdowns after all 3 interceptions. Excellent offensive line that went to the national championship game last year. Amari Rogers trying to run away from Damar Hamlin. He managed to cross
the stiff arm there. They move him left and right, slot or outside. A very different role this year for Amari Rodgers.
5 catches for him in his opening quarter, 53 for the year. Men wide open everywhere. This is Brandon Kirk Herbstreit mentioned it on game day this morning. They came in having given up 32 pass plays on the year of 20 yards or more.
Well, in all 4 losses that Pitt had this year was against the 4 best quarterbacks that they faced, and they all had good numbers, and this guy here is the best they've seen yet.
Lawrence with single coverage, fires for Powell, who makes
coverage, but just a nice effort by Cornell Powell. You know, he's trying to get over 100 yards for the 3rd game in the row, which would be another tie a school record. Just what a great year for him in his 5th year as a senior.
You did some work while
I tried
having that turkey and stuffing a lot of other things. Lynn J. Dixon inside, blasted by Notre Dame when Notre Dame was number 3. They met earlier this year. Lynn J. Dixon first and goal.
Substitute some of their defensive linemen.
Lynn J. Dixon bounces off a hit. No in the end zone that they are heading toward. Right at the top of the hill in which they run at the beginning of the game. Crowd keeps waiting for the inevitable replay stoppage to call it a touchdown. There is none. And that's showing no signs of rust. ETN, nice patience. We talked to Pat Narduzzi yesterday, and Todd McShay.
And me.
And Todd Blackledge. It's Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he's still the best player in college football. And, you know, I just loved talking to him earlier this week.
Whoa.
It looked like holding that call.
3rd down and 6. Lawrence under pressure. They brought extra men and got there. Who are 5th-year seniors right now, who were part of the program in 2016. They were here for that loss to Pitt during that national championship season. Lawrence airing it out deep, and Powell has it, and he's tripped up at the 5-yard line.
Make the play again. Powell having a career year, 6 foot, 210 pound, 5th-year senior.
That was a career-long catch for him, 70 yards. Lawrence throws, and it's too hot to handle.
Knowing he wasn't going to play, said he really got a great appreciation for what everybody else in that quarterback room goes through.
2nd and goal from the 8. Lawrence, a bullet.
Nice play by Hamlin again. Bigger than his size would suggest, too. He's fearless when he comes up in the run game.
3rd and goal from the 8. Design roll for Lawrence. Has to get rid of it. And it's incomplete.
The contact was made.
Back in Clemson, South Carolina. Tigers up 31-3. And have it 1st and goal at the Pitt 2. 8:10 to go first half. Lynn J. Dixon. The pile gets pushed. He kept driving. Did I step on the duck? Travis Etienne played 123 games now without losing 2 in a row. That's the longest active streak in the FBS and also the longest in ACC history. Football playoff. Darian Rencher comes in now at running back for Clemson. 5th-year senior, team leader. They throw it to him out of the backfield.
A 2nd-round grade initially. Wanted to improve on that. Has done that. Continue this after this play.
Lawrence throws incomplete.
They have a shelf life. They only have so many carries. You know, and that's why you see a lot of running backs go into the NFL maybe early.
Nice fake by Lawrence, but you wonder if that was
to this game. You compare that to a couple of the guys that got drafted in the first 2 rounds last year, like a Jonathan Taylor. It nowhere compares. I mean, he's got a lot of carries left because of the way they've used him throughout his career.
Screen for Rencher.
And you're not going to fool Trevor Lawrence with coverage.
Look out. He is surrounded and sacked. Rashad
Weaver and Patrick Jones are as good as you're going to find in college football.
Each have a sack today. 2 allowed by Clemson. Long throw. He'll get there eventually. As we approach 2 hours for the half. Rodgers taken down inbounds by Eric. Lawrence with Etienne, the running back. And he gets dumped by Rashad Weaver, and the ball has come out, and the Panthers have it. There is a flag. We start this possession with a run. The keeper by Lawrence, and he twisted and turned. Mason Trotter has come into the game along the offensive line, playing left guard. Fake to Etienne. Lawrence pressured right away by Jones. Still got it away to Rodgers. Taken out of Clemson's previous 3 possessions. Punt, punt, fumble. Little bubble screen to Rodgers again, and a good tackle. Flag down. The offensive line still in their stances. Pass intended for E.J. Williams.
Similar, and right now Patrick Jones has got it going on a little bit.
Coach Bates brought a blitz.
That they haven't tried to throw the football to Etienne on some kind of route against the linebacker.
Etienne to the 45
this year. There it is.
With the blitz, they swing it out quickly to Etienne. First down, he gets belted out of bounds.
Those are just really smart ways to get the ball to one of your best players.
"12-yard gain. Lawrence sets, throws deep for Powell, and double coverage and knocked down by A.J. Wood. Conference championship game. They're leading this one 38-17. Lynn J. Dixon, nice move as he went past.
But Trevor Lawrence and his ability to run affects this defense of Pittsburgh.
Dixon still the running back. He got 13 on the previous play. Lawrence to the end zone, a diving catch by a
wall in the back of the end zone. That was the unsportsmanlike penalty on Rodgers.
Now it's 1st and 30.
Play fake by Lawrence. He gets banged down, but
because he's a long strider, but he's a very good runner, has a good feel for it. But that's what he does best. Right there.
Powell. Well, his
first bubble screens off the fake run. Now they're doing all kind of things.
8 more receiving yards than Powell had last week, last game against. Starting streaming exclusively on Disney Plus on December 11th. Travis Etienne on first down for the Tigers.
9 carries. Pittsburgh's defense, one of the best in the country at stopping the run. They're kind of built that way.
They load up the box, try to make you throw it. Braden Galloway, tight end screen. He delivered some punishment. Refused.
Now,
midway through the 3rd quarter. Clemson offense stagnant. Lawrence, is he inbounds? No.
Pretty good drive.
He's a 5th-year senior out of Akron, Ohio. Lawrence to Davis Allen, and the tight end ridden across the side.
Really does.
He really has good feet, and that enables him to do that.
Well, we mentioned there's a first down run by E.T.
Questions that he tried to do too much. He threw interceptions early in the year. Then he ended up finishing strong. Good pressure again by this Pitt front.
It's not his fault. There's not a lot of anticipation throws in the middle of the field, but when you see them on tape, he's perfectly capable of executing.
Right. And you can picture him in a more pro-style offense.
Absolutely.
He's in an I think as you saw on that play there, again, his ability as a runner and to extend plays and to scramble. Nice, another run by Lynn J. Dixon. That's the thing that impressed.
I remember some were saying, well, Andrew Luck, he doesn't really have great velocity on the deep ball. Whatever.
And I remember his pro day when he threw the ball 75 yards down the field.
An NFL quarterback, but a great NFL quarterback. Peyton Manning certainly won.
Yeah.
To me, Andrew Luck was one of those guys. His career derailed by injury.
Second year, he comes in with a lot of hype, and he threw as we said, the 8 interceptions in the first 7 games, but kind of settled down. And then watching him this year, and even talking to him, I remember before the Wake Forest game, talking to him when he was in his car, he sat down and talked to us for about 20 minutes. The maturity, talking about social issues, talking about COVID and how he's worked, and why he's back and wanting a championship, and the reason that he's here playing and not opting out. You can just tell he's a pro mentally, and he's come so far in terms of maturity over the last 3 years.
Yeah. David Green, the injured player for Pitt. There's a retrospective on person. Man of considerable faith. As Todd McShay said, he's developed as a leader. He led the movement by players who wanted to play when it looked like they might not even have a season. The crowd.
He breaks a couple tackles and keeps the drive alive.
And it was not a face mask. So we had a peek at a replay. He fakes the toss, throws it deeper. Beautiful play design. Braden Galloway, a touchdown. Finding another defensive lineman in the middle. They sell out on the blitz, and Etienne has the touchdown. Receptions all season. He's thrown 4 today. Couple it was tough to blame him for. New quarterback. DJ Uiagalelei handed it all back against Notre Dame.
And the other thing that was impressive, Sean, they were behind in both of those games. They got behind by 18 on the road at BC, and he brought him back calmly. They were behind in South Bend, and Lawrence decides to move on.
On the draw, Malusi, big hole, first down. Inside the.
Yep, I would think so.
What is almost certainly the final home game for each. Malusi runs out of bounds inside. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions today. Uiagalelei throws incomplete. Intended for Cornell Powell and
for a tall guy. He's got it going.
Well, and he's just seen so much. You're not going to fool him. You hope maybe you get him to pull the ball down because he does.
Really grew here as a person. Obviously got engaged, be married while he was here. He talked at length to us the other day about the development of his faith. DJ incomplete.
I think the demeanor that he has is very, very noticeable.
They call DJ Big Cinco. I think we're going to go along with that.
I like that nickname.
Easier on broadcasters. He is big. 6'4", 250. Shovel pass and nowhere to go for Phillip Rivers and Deshaun Watson as the only ACC players to do that. Cornell Powell. Coaches have so.
It's so fun for us to see a guy in their last year have this happen, and play at such a high level.
3 straight 100-yard games, 176 today for Powell, and that's a touchdown. Big Cinco. Tied for the most wins in Clemson history as the starting QB with Rodney Williams, Taj Boyd, and Deshaun Watson. Will Sweeney swung.
Scrapping. I love to see that.
As we mentioned, he's one of the unheralded players in college football. And our Molly McGrath, he was an only child. He wanted a sibling, and now he says his little brother is his whole world. And the coaches
with that.
I think they have the better resume right now as well.
The tough one for me is when you get beyond 4, Florida and A&M. Because I think Florida's a better team than A&M. Team too. You think that they would beat Florida or Texas
I think
A&M?
they deserve. My point is, Todd, I think they deserve a shot to play a team like that. He thinks they're a better team.
Texas, well, they lost.
Maybe that must not matter to him.
Of course it matters. Of course it matters.
You just think they're trending, playing better now.
But watching them, but apparently that it's not likely to happen.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Nagandi talking about, COVID. What was the expression used? COVID games thrown together.
COVID replacement game.
Guaranteed a spot.
Yep.
I mean, you put Cincinnati, UCF
They've
a couple
earned
years
it.
ago, whoever it is, give them a chance.
Yep.
This would have been a perfect year to do it, really.
No
Everything
doubt.
else going on. Uyunglele upended, shot.
This year, I mean,
right. That's right.
Different conferences are playing different numbers of games.
That's exactly right.
So it would provide an opportunity to really see who the best teams are.
And if they expanded it, it would help them with potential. All the angst of this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes sense to try to replay that one.
I don't either. I mean, because first of all, you're looking at, you play Virginia Tech, and let's say you win that, you guarantee yourself a spot in the championship game with a rematch against Notre Dame on the night.
Helms, woo, threw that one into a crowd. Intended for. Because of the numbers issues for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Northwestern still in good shape in the West. That would